Brett, there's a few other things going on, like we mentioned. I mean, football's king, and it's finally back. And it's not just one game like we had with the Cowboys going on last week. I mean, we have a full slate of preseason games. I'm staying away, but if you were to bet some NFL preseason, because there is better value in NFL preseason than the regular season, where would you go, Brett?
Well, Higgins, I found some games that piqued my interest. I like to look at teams that look in these preseason games. We're trying to get out of there healthy. We're trying to not show too much of our regular season plan because we think we can be competitive, or we're trying to protect our quarterback, or whatever it may be. We don't want to show how we're going to play in the regular season. And look, there are some teams that you can get those reads. Bill Belichick, not going to tip his hand. He's probably not even going to show which quarterback he's going to play the regular season, right? Like, I expect to see a lot of Jarrett Stidham, more so than Mac Jones and Cam Newton combined, probably. Washington football team, we know they're going to air it out with Ryan Fitzpatrick. We know they're going to run with Antonio Gibson during the regular season. They probably want those weapons healthy in the regular season to compete with the Cowboys. So, Washington facing New England, these are older coaches that, again, are going to want to get out of the regular season, get out of the preseason healthy into the regular season with as many of their weapons there. Over under set at 36.5. Higgins, I expect there to be a touchdown or two scored in this game. So maybe a little more scoring than we saw in the Hall of Fame game, but not a ton of scoring. I don't expect Stidham and Heineke to go out there and light it up. I expect a lot of run plays, a lot of punts, a lot of tackles. So under 36.5 looks good to me in that one on Thursday night. And then Cincinnati plays Tampa Bay. I believe this is a Saturday night game, Higgins.
Yep.
Um, and I do not expect to see Tom Brady on the field. I'd be shocked if Joe Burrow gets on the field, or if Joe Burrow looks good based on the reports out of Bengals training camp. So, what I am looking at is the under in this one. Again, old coach Bruce Arians just wants to get out healthy. He saw my team can win a Super Bowl. We brought back the same offense as a year ago. We're good to go. Let's get to week one. Cincinnati, they have a quarterback coming off ACL surgery. They did not draft an O lineman in the first round. They think they addressed it later in the draft, but we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm trusting that O line. Burrow probably plays minimum amount of snaps, if any. Higgins, I would personally, if I was coaching this team, it'd be 0 snaps, but I'm not in the huddle, so I can't say for certain it'll be 0 snaps, but yeah, I'm looking at Cincinnati's backup quarterbacks, and Ryan Finley doesn't excite me too much. Eric Dungy does, though. Eric Dungy, very excited. So if Dungy gets in, over. But if Dungy doesn't play, I'm sticking with my bet of the under.
Well, so it's gonna be very interesting because since we have the extra regular season week, we took away one preseason week. And what we used to see with four preseason games was in week one, all of your starters pretty much started absolutely 0% of the game. I mean, kind of like what the Cowboys did in the Hall of Fame game. In some of these instances, you wouldn't bring your starters on the road trip in some cases. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these teams adjust with three preseason games and working in that case. I like both of your plays, Brett. I'm staying away from preseason week one, to be honest, but your Jets and my Giants play, so I just have to ask as a gentleman, the over-under set at 35. Should we be looking at that under too?
Higgins, that one scares me because we're two teams where our starting quarterbacks actually need the reps. So that one could go over a low 30 total. I wouldn't advise either coach to spend more than a quarter maybe out there with our first team, but I could see the first team getting the full quarter. Each team puts up 7. That's 14. Then you get a bad turnover in your own, inside your own 20. Then there's another. Like, you could see this thing spiraling out of control with where these
Sounds like the
quarterbacks
Meadowlands.
are.
Sounds like the Meadowlands, and just sounds like both of these teams. You're absolutely right. The Giants are technically the home team. The Jets are technically the favorite, but it's only by 1 point, so I don't know. If the Giants are the underdogs, I'll probably talk myself into betting on the Giants by Saturday. But I don't want to be giving out any NFL preseason picks because I don't recommend betting on NFL preseason personally. That's just me.
All right.